Now we must ask ourselves, does this obsession and sexual desire to capture and enslave blonde-haired, blue-eyed non-Muslim women have any basis in the teachings of the Quran and Muhammad? In order for us to understand the historical context of this Quranic revelation, we first need to turn to the tafsir or exegesis literature for an official Islamic commentary on the Quran. In the popular and widely used Tafsir al-Tabari,
he will try to talk to you about tangents. And he'll try to take the conversation in 30 different directions. Hey, by the way, in your tafsir of like Tabari, Tabari says that, you know, your prophet, blah, 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 blah. And you listen to all of that like, what, Tabari? What are you quoting? Do you even know who Muhammad Tabari was, dude? By the way, those of you that are in the field of da'wah, or you have non-Muslims that come up to you and mess with you, or a class you're taking, and Imam al-Tabari rahimahullah is mentioned, watch out. Imam al-Tabari was a historian. Imam al-Tabari was a historian, and his job was to collect anything that's ever been said about the Quran, right or wrong. He just collected it. He wasn't a mufassir. His tafsir is called Tafsir al-Tabari, but it's really a collection of all manner of quotes, right or wrong. He said, this is what I'm hearing being said about this ayah. He didn't verify it, he didn't collect it. He was just saying historically, he wanted a record that in this century, these kinds of opinions about this ayah existed, whether right or wrong. Now, that becomes amazing ammunition for evangelicals or anti-Islamists or whatever, because they can find all kinds of crazy things in which tafsir Imam al-Tabari, and that's not his opinion, and nor is he saying this is what the Quran means. He's just saying this is what people be saying about the Quran. Check it out. That's all he did. It was an encyclopedia of quotes. It was imagine it was like the old wiki. You know, it was an old collection of comments, archived. That's what it was. So, you know, we get oh, there was an imam, and he said that in his tafsir. Oh, how are we going to ever respond?
It says the following about Quran chapter 9 verse 49. وَذَكَرَ أَنَّ هَذِهِ الْآيَةِ نَزَلَتْ فِي الْجَدِّ بْنِ قَيْس. It was mentioned that this verse was revealed regarding a man named Al-Jadd ibn Qais. Who was he? Well, he was a man who did not want to go out and fight jihad for Muhammad, and he asked to be exempted from that duty. As we read in the tafsir, he said to Muhammad, وَلَا تَفْتِنِّي يَقُولُ وَلَا تَبْتَلِنِي بِرُؤْيَةِ نِسَاءِ بَنِي الْأَصْفَرِ وَبَنَاتِهِمْ فَإِنِّي بِالنِّسَاءِ مُغْرَمْ فَأَخْرُجُ وَآثَمْ بِذَلِكَ. Draw me not into trial. This means, do not trouble me with the sight of the women of Al-Asfar and their daughters, for I am tempted by women, for I fear that I might go out and commit a sin because of that. Al-Asfar in Arabic means the color yellow, but here in this context it means blonde women.
The Arabs, they called what we call white, they called it yellow. They called it yellow. What we call white is the Caucasian color white. Okay? And this is generally called Asfar. And that's why they call the Romans Banu al-Asfar. They call the Romans the tribe of the yellow people. Just like over here the American Indians, what did they call whites? Pale face, right? This is not a skin color that they're familiar with, okay? Generally speaking, when the Arabs use the word white, it is a lightish brown. This is what they call white is a lightish brown. It's not the white that we consider Caucasian white. Okay, that white they called Asfar, which then it's not really white, it's yellowish to them. That's how they considered it, okay?
As we read in the tafsir, عن مجاهد في قول الله إئذن لنا ولا تفتني قال رسول الله اغزوا تبوك تغنموا بنات الأصفر والنساء الروم فقال الجد إئذن لنا ولا تفتنا بالنساء. It was narrated by Mujahid regarding Allah saying, quote, grant me exemption and draw me not into trial, that the messenger of Allah, meaning Muhammad, said, invade Tabuk, and your spoils will be the daughters of Al-Asfar, meaning the blonde people, and the women of Rome. So Al-Jadd replied, "Grant us exemption and draw us not into trial with women." So finally, we see here in the commentary of al-Tabari that the Quran chapter 9 verse 49 is really about Muhammad enticing his men to fight jihad by promising them blonde female slaves. And according to Al-Jadd, Muhammad's enticing was leading him towards temptation to sin.